This is the 6th small group discussion with J. Krishnamurti in Gstaad, 1962.
I think we were talking yesterday, one way, about idea becoming the authority. One way? Yes, let me see. We are caught in habits. The pattern is set and we follow it day after day, and it becomes almost automatic. From the most absurd, like picking one's nose, to the most complicated ideological pattern. And I wonder if we ever discover anything for ourselves. Discover for oneself that one is jealous. You follow me? Discover. I don't know what that word means to you. To uncover, to find out, to come upon it suddenly, to expose, for it to suddenly expose itself. I think that may be what our difficulty is in these discussions. Some of you, probably many of you, have heard me talk about, the speaker talk about these things over and over again, putting in different ways, and you've got used to it. And you haven't discovered it. You follow what I mean? And what is the state which demands, what is the state of the mind which demands discovery? Shall we discuss that a little bit? Would that be of any interest to you? Because I'd like to go further into it after lay the foundation, as it were.
What you say is that in have heard your discussion many and many times, this discussion became an explanation for us. So we lose the possibility to deeply understand.
I only meant that. I meant that merely as a statement, not derogatory or something to be mulled over. But you know, when you hear something over and over again, like Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, over and over and over again, either you enter into it with extraordinary flow, with a fullness, with a meaning, or you just, it keeps on repeating. Now I may be barking up a wrong tree, but I like to discover. I like to find out what is the state of the mind that discovers. You follow what I mean? Discovers its own habits, its own patterns, its own way of thinking. It's all, you know, to discover itself. I wonder.
Yes, but we just discover one little thing.
No, doesn't matter. One little. What does that What does that discovery mean? What is the state of the mind that discovers?
Curiosity.
No, don't jump. Don't. No, it is not. Do go slowly.
You're staggered.
No.
Yes, that was
I
seeing
understand.
the old as new, as for the first time.
No, please, just a minute, before you answer. No, I'm talking not what you discover. What is the state of the mind that discovers? The state of the mind, not what you discover.
Pour un instant, il a cessé de fonctionner automatiquement.
You're all too quick. You're all much too quick with answers.
Excuse me.
No, I think it has happened to us all in this moment.
Yes, I understand that, Senor Madame, but I like to reinvestigate the state of mind that discovers. Because if we could go into it a little bit, and I think we'll get it somewhere else, because we were talking yesterday in somewhere, and the three things: discovery,
Seeing.
huh?
We were discussing seeing.
No. I was discussing with somebody yesterday. No, you weren't there. You see, I want to get at the state of mind that is, no, rather, I want to find out what is creation. And to find that out, one has to understand this process of discovery, the process of investigation, and this discovery which is explosive, you understand? And investigation which is not analysis, which is not a deduction or an induction, but an investigation that unrolls itself, you follow? Without my pursuing, without actively taking part in it. Don't agree with me, please, just look into it.
Can I ask one question on that? Is one conscious of this process going on as it occurs?
No, Mr. Craig, just listen to me for 2 minutes, earlier. You know, it's like discovering something, which is, you suddenly see something which you've never seen before. That's one state. And you begin to analyze, deduct, go through all that process, examination, analysis, exploration, right? Which, if one has gone deeply into it, then you come upon something which is an exploration and investigation, which is not you are investigating, you're merely observing something flowing. And the flow is constantly changing, like the water. It's always water, but it's changing its shape, color, its noise, its swiftness, its movement. You follow? One has to find out what the state of discovery is. To discover suddenly the top of a tree. You follow what I mean? You've seen that tree hundreds of times. And you have passed it by, but one day you suddenly wake up and see the extraordinary thing called the top. You follow what I mean? Now, I want to find out what is the state of the mind that sees, that discovers. You know, say for instance a scientist, at least I know a few and we've talked about it. He discovers when all his knowledge has come to an end. A hiatus between what has been known, not knowing, and looking. You follow? I don't. And in that moment he discovers something which he has never seen before. Now we have analyzed fairly thoroughly, at least you can go more and more, but it's sufficient, the process of authority, what is involved in it. We have gone step by step, roundabout, in and out, and all the rest of it. But we haven't discovered it. You follow what I mean? We have either agreed or disagreed or analyzed it, and in the process of exploration there was resistance, denials and fears and all the rest of it. And so authority, with all its extraordinary depth and surface, we have never discovered it. I don't know if I'm making myself clear. That's one state, that's one state of the mind. The other is to watch oneself in movement, and that by the very watching is an investigation, is a flow which reveals without analysis. You follow what I mean? The two states, I think, are different. Does all this mean anything or nothing?
Oh, yes.
Huh?
Of course.
It's easy with jealousy, for example. Jealousy
To discover it.
It's very obvious.
No,
To discover it.
no, one moment. I mean, it's very difficult to discover it.
Well,
No.
I don't think
I'm going to show you in a minute. Do just listen to quietly, 2 minutes. I mean by discovery of jealousy, wait a minute, I don't want, all right, we'll stick to jealousy. I'll move something else afterwards. Do you discover it or do you recognize it?
it's a perception.
And listen, my question was entire, don't confuse it. Do you recognize it or do you discover it? The recognition is quite a different process from discovery.
You recognize the manifestation of it. Of course, it's
We just
different.
name it. That's it.
No, do live with it, you know what I mean? Do go into it, don't immediately answer it yet. I say I'm jealous. And what has happened when I say about Joe I'm jealous? I've recognized it, haven't I? Which is what? I've had that feeling before, and that feeling has been named as jealousy, and that remains as a memory, and that memory, when that feeling arises again, labels that thing as jealousy. So I recognize it. I recognize you because I've known you for many years, and which is what my image, picture, all the rest of it, and I say that's that person. You follow? That is a process of recognition, which is entirely different from discovery.
Discovery would occur when that person did something inconsistent with it.
No, I'm not interested in when the person. No, don't introduce the person. Just a minute. I want to distinguish or separate recognition and discovery. You follow what I mean? I want to see what I do. Am I always recognizing, you follow, or discovering? Because you see, I want to introduce a factor of freshness, a newness. Not the jaded approach, you're doing for a darn thing, you follow?
That was my point, that if the person does something different...
No, not the person, I'm not talking about the person.
Yes, I know, but I mean, I'm using this as an illustration for...
Yes, but get away from the, if you don't mind. I'm not talking of the person, I'm not talking of the state of mind, you follow? The one that recognizes and the other that discovers.
You discover only something that you don't know.
Wait, look, you're going to find out some, don't, you're all so quick in verbalizing. Do go slow, please. You see, we have discovered something now. That recognition is not discovery.
Can't they be mixed?
No. You will see something. Please don't do something yet. Mix or not mix. If they mix, what happens? It is not a discovery. You have produced a mixture of discovery, and which is that's nothing new in that.
I'm going to go too quick, but when I discover, I don't have a name for it. I can't.
I don't. Please, I want to stay with a few minutes to see the difference between recognition, the mechanism of recognition, the mechanism, and the mechanism, if there is a mechanism, to discovery. At last. You're all, you see, I know the mechanism of recognition. And that's how we live, that's our habit, that's our process. You have insulted me, and when I meet you next time, that insult comes out. Or flatter me, this whole process goes on. I recognize. Is the mechanism of discovery similar to recognition? Or is it entirely different? Please, I am discussing I want to go into it much deeper because I want to come to something which is, if you could go into it, rather interesting. You're following, sir?
But I know only one mechanism. The
Yeah.
other one, I don't know.
You don't know. Now, how are you going to move from there to there? From the mechanism of recognition and understanding the whole mechanical process, mechanically, you know what I mean, not machinery, but the structure, that's right, the structure of recognition, how will you move over from that to discovery? Don't ask me how. You follow? Go into it a little bit. I am jealous. I am snobbish. I want a collection of well-known people in my mind. You know, all the rest of the childish, idiotic nonsense that goes on with all of us. I'm jealous. I know the machinery of recognition about jealousy, right? Memory, naming. No, first feeling arises, then I give it a name, and that name remains in my memory, and the next time it comes into being, that feeling, immediately I recognize it by that word. I say that's jealousy, all right. I know the mechanism of it. Now, what is the mechanism of discovery? Must it be free from recognition? Huh? Why do you say that?
Obviously we're recognizing now, otherwise we would have discovered this.
No. Because they say it is different. Why?
You have to be calm.
Huh?
You have to be calm.
Oh, good God, no. You see how you are again beginning to achieve a result. You have to be calm. You're not playing with me. You're not moving with me. You're coming into states. I don't want to achieve a state. I know the mechanism of recognition. I want to find out if there is a process, a mechanism of discovery. Or there may be no mechanism at all. I think there is no mechanism. For recognition there is only mechanism. Now, how am I who am used to recognizing, always recognizing, to jump from that to this? So that I say, Bacho, though I give it a name as jealousy, it's something new. You follow? How do I get into that state of discovery? How will you do it, sir?
I don't think you can inhibit the process of recognition.
I said that. I said I can recognize but yet discover.
Recognition.
Which is not the mixture of the two.
Well, recognition comes first,
I know. Why not? How do you know?
in my experience.
What do you mean?
Well, I recognize a feeling like resentment, and then I say, this naming process and recognition process, I've done it so often, I'm tired of it. I'm going to look at the thing I'm going to look at it directly. And then you encounter the feeling as something that's not recognizable. And it's a very strange thing.
You may be right, sir. I don't quite understand.
Can the mechanism of recognition be stopped?
Oh no, that would be quite insane, wouldn't it? If I didn't recognize you and I had to recognize you each day, say you're Mr. Dr. Otharani each day, I'd be saying.
Yes, but are the two states, can be the two states be in the same time?
No.
No,
You see,
but
you're
what-
trying to get at something. I wish you would little more.
So when I said mixed, I meant one leads to the other, because if you
Or does
recognize-
it lead, madam? Does one lead to the other, or one has to drop in the sense, keep it
Yeah,
far away, understand it, put it away there,
Yeah.
and then move away from it to discover.
yeah.
So that doesn't lead to this.
No, but
Put that away, lock it up, use it. That is necessary, otherwise
Yeah.
I'd be quite insane. I would have to ask the policeman every day where the road my house was. That would be too sick. So,
just in a very small way, I have experienced.
how did you experience that discovery? Was it the tail end of recognition,
No,
or the recognition is an abeyance to be used but doesn't play a part? You see how we are slowly going into it? You're too quick, that's why you don't move slowly, and then you'll find out. So the tail end, that is the less there is of recognition, the more thin, more tenuous, the more delicate, the greater the discovery. And when there is no recognition, immediate discovery. I don't know if you get captured. I am resentful. For various reasons. I'm resentful. We know that feeling resentment is. Now, I know I have used a word, and the word has strengthened that feeling, and that feeling continues because I have given thought to it. Please follow this carefully. I have given thought to it. I mean by giving thought to it, give it a name, and therefore give it a continuity. I don't know if you see that. Huh? Thought gives continuity. If I think about something every day, right? Now, I've given thought to it, and therefore it has become a process of recognition, because I have recognized. I'm not trying to get rid of it or not get rid of it. That's irrelevant. But I want to discover as though it was something original that never happened before. The feeling of resentment. I don't know if you're...
The feeling of?
resentment.
So the object of resentment drops.
And I'm not concerned. You see, you're all wanting to. I don't want to escape from resentment. I don't want to know the object or any. You see, I want the pure state of discovery. The state which says, by Joe, I've discovered something.
Perhaps you go to the root and see that the entity.
The
entity.
Oh, no, madam. No. We're not talking of the entity or all that. No.
The I?
Oh, no. You. Look, I've looked at this. I've been here 2 months. I've looked out of this window practically every day. And I've seen the sunrise and the glow of the sunset on the mountains, on the snow. When it rained, when it didn't rain, when it was a clear day, when it's a smoky day, when it's a windy day, the clouds going by. I've seen it every day. And I've got used to it. I've got used to it. Like these peasants, they've looked at it every day for their life and say, what the heck are you looking at? Now, there is this immense weight of 2 months sea. You follow? Under different conditions. The beauty, all the weight of it on my mind. Now, to see the mountain as though I'd never seen it before. To remove this weight of 2 months and look. Then, when I do look, it is a discovery. You follow? I see a new curve on the mountain. I don't know. I see a new movement in the trees, in the leaf. You follow what I'm saying? Now, how does this come about? And I think this is very important to understand, because we have so far dealt with recognition all the time and battling against recognition. You follow? And they say, how am I to dissolve her? I don't know if you get it? Now, the only possible way is to discover it anew. And keep on discovering it. You follow? Be in that state. You never give resentment, jealousy, ambition a continuity. I don't know if you're following what I'm talking about.
But you said some words that I think have a meaning. And that is, you said remove the weight of it. Now, that implies that you are no longer satisfied with the recognition.
Oh, no, my dear chap, don't stick at words.
No, I think the words have meaning.
Of course they have meaning, but I am not interested in removing resentment.
No, but you may be very well fed up with the...
I am not even fed up.
With the thought process.
I am not even fed up.
And occupies your mind.
I am not even fed up. I've just seen how the mind is caught in the machinery of recognition. That's all. The mind sees how it has caught it in the machinery of recognition, which has become a weight, like the mountains, the hills, the valleys.
Yes, but you know it. You know it as a weight.
I use that word, so I don't...
No, but one does.
You do, I don't.
No. I know the weight of the thought process that occupies the mind.
I don't. I say, but Joe, yes, I see it. Now, my interest is not in there, how not to recognize. I see very well, as long as the mind sees very well, as long as this process of recognition exists, there is no discovery. That's all. Not how to get from there to there. Which means, listen to it a little more, the process of recognition makes the mind insensitive. And I said, by Joe, I've looked at that mountain for the last 2 months and I never saw that curve. You follow? That's all. And I can only see that curve when recognition is not there. That's all. Not how to see that curve, how to let go recognition. The recognition dulls the mind, makes it insensitive, stupid, heavy. And when recognition is not there, I see something which I've never seen before. which means my mind can only discover when it is extraordinarily sensitive. It's like a negative play, a picture has been taken and you expose and it can't take anymore. You follow what I mean? Everything is blurred. That we understand, not please, verbally we understand, perhaps you may even have discovered. Now let's move to something else, which is analysis. You know the mechanism of analysis, what's implied in it? The observer and the observed. The observer always examining, censoring, judging, evaluating, condemning. Right? You're following this? Huh? And that's the process in which we live. Judge, you follow? Analysis. And in this process of analysis, there is also the process of recognition. You follow? Am I talking too much? No. Huh? No, I don't want, it isn't that I want to talk, but I'm on a, it's like a dog on a set,
May you perhaps help me in understanding the thing you say before? You are here and you see day by day this country and so, and it became so habitual that you have not really the possibility to see in the sense you said yesterday. But for each one that is usually in this state of recognition that came, for instance, here and see the first time, this the probability to see in the sense you say yesterday are more than after the 20 days it is here?
No, because something new. That is not what I mean. Oh, no, don't confuse that. I come up on a new scene, because I've lived in the plains, and I come up and say, oh, lovely. And next day it's finished. I've got used to it.
An actual physical fact that seen outside is different every day.
Huh?
No, so...
Don't confuse the thing so much.
So it doesn't depend of the fact, but of the state of my mind.
That's right, sir.
That's right. And another question. When, I don't know if it is, if I can do this question, when this flash of understanding of the discovery, you say, comes, there is a possibility to say, to answer, yes, it is there. Or I am always in the state of say, but perhaps.
No. Sir, look, sir, I've looked, and I never seen that curve of that branch. You follow?
No.
The line, the dark, etc., the limb. And when I'm not thinking, burdened with recognition, I suddenly one day look and there's the curve. That's all. I keep it as simple as that. I want to understand the process or the mechanism of analysis. You follow? In which we are caught. Because the more clever we are, the more analytical we are. Huh? And we sharpen ourselves on this wheel of analysis. Now, what is the mechanism of that? Go slow, sir. I'm coming to something. You will see in a minute. in that process of analysis, there is always the observer and the thing observed. The observer is analyzing, judging, evaluating, censoring, right? This is right, this is wrong. So there is always a division between the observer and the observed. And therefore conflict. And therefore an adjustment. Right? That's the mechanism of analysis.
That we know.
Why conflict?
Huh?
Why conflict?
Oh, no. Of course. When you're censoring something, when you're saying this is not right, this is wrong, I must compare, it's inevitably a conflict, a contradiction, an opposite, a reaction. It's the whole of that is our state of life.
But unexpectedly, sometimes it leads us to a discovery.
Wait. You see, you're all too quick for me. I want to go. I don't know where it's going to lead me. You see what you are doing? I don't know where this is going to lead me. What we're talking about. You have already stated it will sometime will lead me to discovery.
It has.
Maybe, but you're not now discovering. You're going back. You see, that's what I'm battling with all of you. You're always going back. It has happened once, it is this. Please go with me slowly. You follow, sir? Process of analysis is a process of evaluation. Right? A process of censoring. This is right, this is wrong, this should be, this should not be. Which is the very nature of conflict, of course. Moment I am a censor, I contradict that. Well, it's so simple.
Yes,
so don't take time.
But there need not be any sense of conflict in yourself. You take something, and you decide to analyze it.
No. I analyze my jealousy, my resentment. I say my jealousy should not be. Why am I jealous? Why am I resenting? What does that mean? There is an entity who is judging. And therefore the entity is in a state of contradiction within himself. Oui, senor. Huh?
All right, I see that.
And therefore conflict.
Yes, he's in a state of contradiction, otherwise he wouldn't be doing it.
Of course.
All right.
So, now wait a minute. And I know now, in that process recognition is involved. That's a very important thing to see. If there was no recognition in analysis, it wouldn't be analysis at all.
Of course, you move from one recognized point to the other.
No, boy, you're all so definitely concrete. Don't jump to it. Look at it first. I know the machinery of recognition. And with that machinery, I analyze.
Yes.
Which is a process of recognition. This should be, this should not be. I am better, all that.
Yes.
So analysis is similar to recognition. There is not much difference. Difference there is, but it is dissimilar, but there is a great deal of similarities in it, right? Now, what next? You're waiting for me? Now what is the next thing?
suivre ce qui se passe.
No, watch. What is the state of my mind when there is discovery? Huh? Look, you go slow. I've understood the mechanism of recognition, right? And I've understood the mechanism of investigation, analysis. They have a great deal of similarities, though they are dissimilar. And I said, by Jove, what is the difference between these two and discovery? You follow? These two we are acquainted with. You follow? Analysis and recognition. Are you following? Huh? Are you coming with me? Somebody? Yes? And I say now, what is that state of discovery? It's neither of these two, right? Huh? Huh? You don't understand?
No, I do. It's neither one of the two. I see that.
Yes.
It can't be.
Which means what? In one state we have said the machinery of recognition has become very, very delicate. Huh? It's almost it is there, but it hasn't got its weight. It has lost its weight. You know what I mean? It's lost its control, whatever it is. And also, analysis has lost its. Now, what is the state of discovery? We said, wait a minute, we said in the first case that, I want to go on. In the first case we have said the machinery of recognition will not lead to the other, right? Right? And the machinery of analysis will not. Why? There is the censor, thought and the thinker, right? And there is discovery only in the second when there is no censor at all. Huh? You follow? Huh.
You say, what is the state of the mind in discovery? It's impossible to say what it is, obviously.
Oh no, I'll tell you in a minute. You'll go to find out. We have stated it already. When the process of recognition is a very thin film, you follow? It's
Yes.
a very thin, what is it? Delicate membrane, that's all. And the other analysis is also very delicate because in that I see there is a censor always. And I see further there is discovery only when the censor is not there. The censor being the essence of time.
You're going too fast.
Huh?
You're going too fast.
Sorry.
There's when you discover, there's no thinking.
And therefore no censor. Censor.
That isn't so easily seen. You see, there's no thinking.
I said no, I did not say there is no thinking.
No,
I
but
said
one
there is
sees
no
it.
censor. There is no thinker as time, as the past, as memory, as the entity who has been shaped by time, by society, by culture, by education, by experience.
When I discover something, I still feel that I'm there, that I have identity.
Then comes much later. So, just a minute, see what's happening. I've looked at that mountain for 2 months. I'm taking that as an example, don't run that today. And I have never seen that curve of that hill where the snow has washed it. Centuries of snow has given it right. I never seen it. And one day, not thinking about the mountain, you follow? Not being in the habit of seeing, I look and there it is. And I say, Bacho. Now, what is that state of mind that sees that curve? That state of mind that sees that curve is when the habit of seeing has stopped. Habit of not seeing, habit of seeing the same thing over and over and over again.
But the only possible way you could describe that state of mind, surely.
We're doing it negatively. You see, you're all trying to get at it. I'm not trying to get at it.
Surely,
Because you see,
what I'm discovering is recognition, not the mountain. That's the discovery. What recognition is.
No.
The habit of seeing is not there at the moment. All right.
What did Mr. Suarez say? Did you hear him? He said it's the state of mind that discovers. Not the thing you see. But I won't see that if there is not a state. You follow? You don't, it was so simple I cannot understand, but you don't jump along with this.
I think this is the problem. This thing is too simple, surely.
It is, that's why I've got to miss it. You see, sir, recognition, analysis, I see that very well, those two, very simple methods. I mean, it's complex machinery, but I understand it. But I haven't quite understood what is the state of discovery, state, not what is discovered. You follow? Not the object, not the thing that I have discovered, but the state of the mind that discovers. And I see the process of the mechanism of recognition and analysis must go away, drop off, not
receive.
It's
What
only
is
part
that?
of it.
Huh?
Simply seeing. That's all. If you see it, that's finished.
I don't want to go back to the seeing again. You
But
see?
it is.
I refuse to accept that word again. I want to let it wither away. You follow? It is there. I can't neglect it. I can't put away. It's there, but not very great. It's in the basement. Now, what is the mind that discovers? I see very well it can't be these two.
It's a quiet mind.
Huh?
A quiet mind.
Oh no! You see how you're all eager to quiet. I want to burn that word, don't you?
Master, you say how to pass to jump in the other state. You ask this.
Yes, I just.
But I ask you, if I never heard you, perhaps I never think at this state.
I'm now suggesting you are hearing it now. Forget whether you've never heard it.
But so, I'm not in the States, and however, I know the other two very well. We have discussed very deeply.
Wait, you know that very well.
That very well.
Wait,
Yes.
you know those two very well. And you know those two cannot be the states that will bring you something new into it. Obvious. More and more and more you get used to it, more and more dull you become. Look at all these persons, they don't know. You follow, they have lived with it from childhood. They have become insensitive. So this is clear enough, we don't have to spend time on this. No?
Well, I mean, that's just reasonably simple process, surely, but to discover the state of discovery sounds too fantastic to my mind.
You're going to discover it.
No, sir, I want to ask you another thing. Is it really that you are not satisfied of your state in which you are now? The state that imply analysis and so on. Are you really unsatisfied?
Well, I've been made unsatisfied by the previous discussion.
I'm not so deeply unsatisfied. It is my usual way to learn, to live. Is it not?
But a doubt has arisen the moment that occurs. You can't be satisfied, surely.
Because you say as a knowing thing that we are not satisfied in this state, but this is not true.
I did not say satisfied.
Unsatisfied.
That
is stupid. That is stupid.
I did not say any of those words.
I use other word.
No, I did not.
Simply, we know that
Look,
there
sir,
is.
I want to find out the state of the mind of a man who discovers.
Surely it has sensitive.
Discovers a new way of jet. He has discovered jet. Somebody who has discovered a new way of building a house. An engineer who says, by Joe, put something together, something new comes out of it. That I want to discover that state of mind. Not that I'm dissatisfied with these two. Right? So don't you want to know, as an electronic engineer and all the rest of it, the state of mind of somebody who sees something new? Don't you want to know? Huh? That's all.
So there is no condemnation of the other two
No, I
states.
never
Not at all.
brought
Not at all.
it.
Yeah.
You can't do the way that
I haven't mentioned the word condemnation. I said that there is. But I want to know the mind of an inventor. You follow? The mind of a mind who sees something new. That's all. Right, sir? You got it?
Yes.
Now, let's go back. So, these two states of analysis and recognition, in that there is nothing new. I see that clear. Right? I'm not condemning it. I say, if I go around those two, I'll never discover anything. Right? It'll be the same process, repeating. Now I want to find out what's the other state.
To find out what that other state is, I notice that my mind sees the one thing, at the time there's no thinking, there's no thought process. But then I see my mind engaging in analysis to recognize some other facts about it, which is, I won't get the answer that way.
So what do you do? You have to discover that mind, haven't you? You have to discover
I
it.
have to discover it.
How are you going to do it? Just
Just one point, sir. If you've got a mountain as an object here, and you discover that every day there's a new mountain, and with this state of discovery, are you not treating it as an object?
I've forgotten the mountain.
Yes, all right.
There's something
But isn't this the
which is
difficulty?
so terribly alive, you follow? And this aliveness, this state of light, or whatever it is, sees all the time. So it's never habit forming. Habit forming is recognition. Habit forming is analysis. It's gone out of that.
Well, all I'm asking, if I may, is can it recognize itself?
Oh, you've gone too far for me. You see, there's one or two things obvious. Obvious. That as long as there is the censor, you follow? There cannot be a state of discovery.
Yes, right.
That's very clear. Huh?
Yes.
Is it clear?
Yes.
Now wait a minute, what do you mean by that? As
But if you've got a
long
preconceived idea, obviously you've got a block between the...
as long as there is a censor, which is the result of time, the result of conflict, the result of conditioning. You following? The result of his contradictions, his envies, his psychological, social structure, all that. As long as that censor is, there is no discovery.
Because as long as he is, he'll operate and interfere.
Huh?
As long as he is, he will operate automatically and interfere.
Yes, of course, that's... Don't say how I might remove it, that's not the problem. I see as long as there is a censor, there is no discovery. Which means as long as there is a conflict of any kind, there is no discovery. That is my wife with my problems, with my boss, with any problem. You follow?
That seems fairly obvious. I mean...
Obvious, but no, obvious verbally. But that is not the state of discovery. Verbally saying that's so obvious, I mustn't have conflict, of course. But to discover, now wait a minute, to discover for yourself that there must be no conflict. You follow?
Yes, rather than have it...
Yeah, that's it. And you're out of it. You see what I'm talking
Yes, I've got a
about?
problem. That is the primary difficulty in this very situation, you see.
It is. And that's why I've held you, prevented you from racing along. I said, go slow. Because you have to realize, experience, live, see, listen, discover as you go along. Probably, there are only two things in life that are, for most of us, who are second-hand, two things original, hunger and sex. Everything is second-hand.
And even those become mechanical operations.
Later. So you see what is taking place. First, I don't want to move anywhere in any direction. You follow? I don't want to achieve. I don't want to be in a state of discovery. Huh? So I start very, very factually, logically, without emotion, without projection. I see very clearly and ruthlessly the mechanism of recognition. And I see also the mechanism of analysis. And I discovered in this process of looking at the machinery that as long as there is a censor who is of time, you follow? Of time. He creates space. And as long as there is time and space, there is no discovery, which is the essence of conflict. Time and space and the censor is the essence of conflict. As long as that entity, that thing, that complex is there, there is no discovery. I've discovered this. You haven't told me, I found it. You follow? As Edison, Einstein, who are all these birds, they have found it. The moment you have found it, you are no longer second-hand.
Yes, but see, this is, the primary difficulty is to listen to you telling us, you see, this is...
I'm telling you because we are discussing. You follow? We are uncovering as we go along. You can uncover verbally and spin along, race ahead, or uncover bit by bit, experience, live, understand, go into it. The process of recognition and the process of analysis have the center, have a center which is time, right? Obviously. And as long as the mind functions in time and space, there is no discovery. I found that. I'd say by Jove, a marvelous thing. You follow? Then comes, if you go a little further, not a little, much further, what is the relationship of discovery and creation? You follow?
Yes, but you see...
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir. Go on, Mr. Crane. You won't interfere. Sorry.
I keep getting this feeling in this situation of you being one jump ahead.
What's that?
Now, for instance, you've been talking about time and space. I'll say frankly that I don't quite understand that.
Nor do I. Now I don't, but I'm going to find out. See, each time I find out, I don't want to repeat. It's a frightful bore. I want to find out. I want to see what time really is. Feel it. You follow? So I only mentioned time as chronological, not chronological, the psychological time, etc., etc. As long as there is a center, we'll call it a center, which is the very axis of recognition, you follow? And the movement from which there is a movement of analysis, there is no discovery. Right? I mean, one has to... We have come to discuss this after all these 8 days, you follow what I mean? It's just first time you and I are discussing. Then I say to myself, all right, I've discovered something new. Seeing the curve of the mountain, seeing jealousy as something new. What is that and what is creation? I mean, that's too far away. You see, discovery has nothing to do with creation.
Obviously, when you're there at discovery...
It has no relationship between the two. But the three have a relationship.
Yes, but if you're at...
Peter! Analysis, recognition, and discovery have a relationship. I can move from one to the other. But I can't move from this to that, creation. I don't know if you...
But the point I was going to say is... Sorry.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
You'd have to be in the state of discovery to discover the creation, obviously.
I think all the three have to end completely. of this very interesting discussion. See, that's why God, dog, or whatever it is not a thing to be achieved through these processes. You follow what I'm trying to say? You know that lovely story of Zen, I was told this, I haven't read it, patriarch, and here a disciple comes to him and sits in front of him, cross-legged, and he says, and the master says, my friend, what are you doing? The disciple sits in front of the patriarch, the teacher, and closes his eyes in tremendous. And the patriarch says, my friend, what are you doing? Oh, he says, I'm trying to reach the highest consciousness. Oh, he says, all right. So presently the master picks up 2 pieces of stone and begins to rub them. You know the story? If you do, it doesn't matter. And the rubbing wakes the disciple. And he says, Master, what are you doing? He says, I'm rubbing 2 stones. What for? He says, to make a mirror out of one of it. Oh, the disciple says, Master, you can rub for 10,000 years, you'll never make a mirror out of it. And the master says, my friend, you can sit like that.